This is your sign to take the risk. I think a lot of people are waiting for some kind of sign to tell them to take the risk, and this video might as well be it. I've spent a lot of time thinking about doing things instead of actually doing them. And for a while, I convinced myself, I told myself that that was a part of the process. Like if I thought about it enough or planned it out properly, there would eventually be a time where it just made sense to start. But that point never really showed up in my life. And chances are it won't show up in yours either. For me, that went way longer than I'd like to admit. Over 13 years. And it took me a long time to realize something that feels kind of obvious now. Things will never line up perfectly, and you need to learn to just start. As soon as you have an idea and you're really passionate about it, whatever it is, you need to start. I kept waiting for the perfect moment where everything felt right, where timing made sense, where I had enough confidence, and where things in my life weren't ever getting in the way. There was always a reason to wait. And to be fair, I feel like a lot of those reasons were valid. That's the tricky part. Even when they are valid, even when you have excuses that are legitimate to you and to your mindset, you need to ignore those feelings and start anyway. Life actually does get busy and messy and unpredictable. There's always going to be something in the way. There's always going to be a moment where you can just justify waiting a little bit longer. But now that I've actually started, I see it completely differently. Because even though those reasons were real at the time, they just kept me in the same spot. I was never really progressing towards anything that I wanted to progress in. And from where I'm at now, which is literally only one video in, those reasons feel a lot more like excuses than obstacles. Now that I've started, it's gotten way easier to make another one. What surprised me the most was that starting so soon, 13 years later, didn't feel like I was losing anything. It didn't feel like I missed out because it's not the perfect moment. If anything, I feel the opposite. That was always the fear, that I'd start at the wrong time, something would mess up, and I'd regret not waiting for a better moment. But none of that really happened. If anything, I'm glad I didn't wait longer. Because even if this isn't the perfect time, I'm already getting a lot better. Like I said, I'm only one video in, but I already feel a lot more confident thanks to your words of encouragement, but also thanks to just starting. So by the time things get easier in my life and the perfect moment does come, it's not, I'll already have confidence and momentum built up from now. And that's something I never really considered before, the benefit of that. I thought waiting would somehow put me in a better position, but all it did was delay my progression. It delayed the process of getting better. This channel is my version of taking that risk. This channel is me doing something that I'm not comfortable doing in order to do something that I wanted to do. There wasn't some big turning point in my life. There wasn't a perfect moment. That's not why I'm starting. I just got tired of waiting, tired of seeing time pass. 13 years is a long time, and in all 13 years, I've never felt satisfied by waiting. I've just felt a lot of regret. My only biggest fear now is looking back 20 years from now and not having a bunch of regret for not starting. So I'm just glad I started. I can easily say that I'm living the dream, even though I haven't even gotten to talk to you guys in the comments yet. I just know that this is a lot better than waiting for the perfect moment. And I think that's the part people don't really talk about. We treat risk like it's something that's going to set us back. But not taking these risks has a cost too. It shows up a lot slower, but in a way, it also digs a lot deeper. Time keeps moving either way. So if you keep putting things off, life isn't going to press pause and wait for you. You're still moving forward, just maybe not in the direction that you wanted. And I'm not saying you need to flip your whole life overnight. Just have that mentality shift. Start thinking about it more and start actually doing little bits of things to get started. I made the profile picture for this channel 2 months ago. But thanks to that, it's gotten a lot easier to start the day after, and the day after that, and the day after that. And now I'm making a video. It's more about being honest with yourself and the things you want in your life. If there's something that keeps coming back into your head, some kind of opportunity that you really want to take, there's probably a reason for that. At some point, you have to stop trying to think your way into action and actually just do things. Take the action. Because that alone is what kept me stuck for so long, trying to feel certain before I did anything. That's why this channel is called Path to Progress and not Path to Progression. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment and being perfect and executing perfectly. It's about moving in the direction that you actually want to move in. But what I'm understanding now is that clarity comes after you actually start. You figure things out as you go. And yeah, it's uncomfortable. This is honestly the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done in my life. And I don't know if that means I haven't had an eventful life or if that's just how meaningful this is to me. You're not always going to feel ready, just like how I don't feel ready right now. But this whole passion that's coming out of my voice, it's not because I'm good at talking. It's not because this is what I do. It's because I'm fearful of not doing it. It's because I'm scared of not taking the risk, not starting. And so I'm trying to give it 110% before it's too late. Waiting doesn't make you feel better. It just makes you used to waiting. And it's just easier to justify. So if you've been sitting on an idea for a while, a goal, an idea, this might be the moment where you decide differently. You let this video be the video that changes your mindset. Are you actually going to take the action or not? Not because everything makes sense now. This video isn't going to give you the answers. I hope that it gives you somewhat of my perspective of waiting 13 years and just that feeling of not being stuck anymore. So it's your choice. Do you want to be stuck? Or do you want to at least move in the direction that you want to? I'm obviously still figuring things out myself. I'm not on the other side of this with everything perfectly figured out. This is me in the middle of it, moving in the direction that I want to move in. And honestly, that's what progress is. And I feel really, really good about it. In a way, being uncomfortable has been the most comfortable thing I've ever done. So again, if you've been waiting for a sign, let this be it. Nothing dramatic, just a reminder that if you don't move, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stagnant. And life isn't going to wait. So do you want to live a life of regret? Or at least live a life of satisfaction, knowing that you did or you pursued what you wanted to? It's your decision. Are you going to wait for perfection or chase progression?